in this lesson, I want to introduce you to a technique that I actually discovered quite recently and that I found to be incredibly efficient at generating different variations of a drum loop and quite a nice workflow. Because my drum loops tend to get quite sort of overloaded and like there's many different hi-hat samples, so going in here and editing this for a different part of the song can be quite a big pain. So what you can do instead is, and what I like to do is, I like to bounce these drum groups in place and just look at this as if I'm editing a break. And if I edit this drum group at the top here, so for example, if I fold this down, just take this bit and move it here, you will see that it'll move all the contents of the group. So later I can just remove this bounce group clip and start editing the individual stems again, but for now I can kind of pretend like there aren't any stems. And this really makes it much nicer for me to just have something sort of simple to work with and simply focus on the overall groove. But I don't, I want to quickly just turn these percussions a bit down before I do this. Maybe turn these hi-hats down a bit too. So now we've got this, and now we can just bounce these in place and kind of pretend these don't exist. So what I like to do now is I just get this clip launcher here and I select this bit of time here and drag this into scene 1 and kind of maybe rename this to drum loop 1. So now we have this saved here. And we can quickly create some variations here. So let's see, what do we want to do? So let's maybe, I want to have this double kick here again, so I'm just gonna select it and drag it here. So maybe, is this not doing, because I'm in the clip launcher. Let's get back to the arrangement here. So let's get this. So maybe and then get some more kicks here and just okay, so that's kind of nice. Let's get these here, move these over here as well. Maybe you want this kick to repeat here. And now we can just remove these and go here in here and edit individual stems. But we first got our ideas kind of sketched out with these rough things at the top here. So I immediately know that I want this to be a bit quieter here. So let's, after the snare, I always wanted to go down. So it always kind of almost acts like a riser into the snare. So fade these into the snare. So let's remove this stuff. So next, these hi-hats are annoying. So first of all, what's the most annoying? It's this cymbal here that is synthesized. Okay, yeah. Because these can be quite harsh sounding cymbals. Very resonant, very noisy, so let's maybe, they're very not noisy, so let's maybe get another convolution to blur these out a bit. Just place like a hi-hat in here. Yes, hat maybe. Just see. That maybe softens it, maybe plays another convolution. Just trying stuff here. It's all a bit resonant sounding for me. It's a bit nicer in my opinion. Let's maybe work with that instead. Just be aware that whatever edits you make to these effects here will also be applied to the other drum loop. So if you really want to change the sound but keep it in the other loop, you'll have to duplicate the track. But yeah, so let's... Okay, so let's... maybe remove these. I actually want like maybe have something like this in mind here, so where it's kind of goes I can't beatbox or sing or anything, but that's thoughts in my mind. I want to remove these altogether from this one, they don't really fit. Maybe let's... Okay, so that's our next variation here that we can drag into the clip launcher. I want to write one more. If you find this boring to just watch me write, you can skip the rest of this video. I'm just gonna do the same thing again, just to get some more interesting stuff here. So we can take this here, drag it in here, and then we've got 2 drum loops. Oh. And this one here. Something weird's going on with the snare here. Oh, no, it's fixed. Okay. So let's maybe get our original drum loop back. Let's write another variation of it. Your choice if you want to stick around for this or not. I just want to make some more stuff here. So I don't want this kick here. And then I actually want to just kind of repeat this. So like da 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 da. I want to move this snare and this kick forward to kind of go like a 2-steppy kind of pattern. So like, no, not like this, like this. And I guess do the 2-step beat thing again. Okay, so this needs a kick again, just because it has this kind of 3-3-3 thing going on. So I want after the snare. So 1, 2, 3, and then another kick here, just to kind of keep that polyrhythm going. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. This is definitely quite a hyperactive drum loop, because I guess I'm just writing drums solo. I probably wouldn't write drums quite as active if it was in the context of an arrangement, but because this is a drum course, might as well go all in on drums, you know? So something like this, and then let's go into our stems again and try to make this a bit nicer sounding. So let's see what we've got here. Immediately, of course, there are hi-hats missing and so on. Let's give this some of these beats hi-hats again. Actually, this needs a kick, kind of, so we've got these two kicks here. I just want to get another kick after the snare here, I think. So let's kind of just do more stuff here. So that do I want these? I don't really want this stuff here, so let's remove that. Always when the snare hits, can often add to the effect of the snare if there's a bit of sort of quieter part after the snare. Let's remove this. Once again, this is annoying me here, so I don't like this. Do I need this hi-hat? Not a big fan, to be honest. What's this? I just want these on the kind of main beats, so just select this time bit. And maybe something quite interesting for drum editing is when you select audio events, so like this, remove this and select these two events and duplicate this, you will see that it'll only duplicate the clips and not the silence in between, while if you select them as time here, it'll also duplicate the silence. So this can be quite useful to know when editing drums like this. So right now I want to duplicate the silence as well. Okay, so I find this a bit messy. This is like a Foley sampler here. Okay, so let's actually let's just, why not? We have this in MIDI, so might as well write something new in MIDI here. Maybe keep the folded nature of the clip kind of intact, so let's just take all this nonsense and warp it down just to kind of maintain the simplified editor here, and so we use the same samples. So let's see. Let's maybe just place these on the main beats for now. What's this? Ah, we need to extend the clip, of course. So then I want something quicker going on here. Maybe something like this. And then something, you know, where it's just notes after notes. We reverse this actually. So yeah, we've got another drum loop variation here, and you can do this. I mean, this works in any genre. I do this a lot for drum and bass and stuff because it's just so much about just variations and drums. And you can also do this with basis, of course. But let's just say for now, these are our 3 drum loops here. And then in the next lesson, I'll be focusing some more on really doing some additional sound design for each drum loop, kind of getting it to shine a bit more, bringing certain textures out more and stuff like that. So let's call this drum loop 3. And then I'll see drum loop 3. No, it does need a number. And then I'll see you in the next lesson.